I don't think many of my colleagues can appreciate art and beauty, but anybody can tell that this is an absolutely beautiful building. Ah. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
I want to show you something. You're an expert. What do you think? I like talking to people, finding out what makes them tick, if there's anything I can help them with. But politics these days, they say, is all about appearances. Not really my strong suit, I'm afraid.
It looks fine to me.
You think so? You don't think I look a little bit, shifty? You know, the way he's caught my eyes?
No.
Right. Well, I've been looking at your application. You want to create a museum for all the monsters and abnormalities of Ulster, which would make it a very big museum. I don't think our budgets will stretch to that, to be honest. So you're going to have to sell it to me.
In our collection, we have an extensive holdings of photographs that date back to the 19th century.
But don't we have rather a lot of museums already?
Not like this. It would be the first of its kind in Europe.
So, it would be a tourist attraction, that's what you're saying?
Yes, maybe.
No, you mean yes, definitely. You're telling me what it doesn't say here is that this application is about regeneration, about cultural tourism.
No, it's about social justice.
Oh, it's definitely not about social justice. Humor me now. You have a lot of old pictures of monsters. Who's going to want to come and see them anyway?
The Japanese.
The Japanese? Great! Carry on.
We have a unique collection of photographs. Pictures that can only be found here in Northern Ireland.
Right.
Photographs that come from a tradition of photographing the disadvantaged, of photographing the culturally distinctive, of recording local tradition.
Okay, but aren't they a little bit, shall we say, embarrassing? I mean, you read the story about that slimy monster in Lurgan. I mean, some of these are disgusting.
These are only photographs we're talking about.
So you wouldn't have any actual monsters involved?
Maybe a few.
Do they speak Ulster Scots?
Huh?
I'm only kidding with you.
I knew your father. But I told you this before. He was just like you. Very official. A complete bastard, in fact. He brought me so much misery, your father. He was the worst. And a whole line of bastards that brought me where I am today.
May I?
Please do. But I could tell fundamentally that he was a kind man. He wanted to help me. I could tell by the way he behaved. You know, he poured me a glass of water just like you did.
That wasn't my father.
No. Have I upset you? Have I gone too far?
I want you to be serious with me for a moment. You know me well. We've spoken many times. Do you still believe that I can help you?
No.
Good. So why am I here?
To torment me.
I always enjoy talking to you. Every time you construe my motives differently. And you're right. But you could help me a little.
Tell me. Jailer, tell me. I can help you.
I have some questions. But essentially, I want to know what you would do to get out of here. Would you do whatever they ask? Or do you want a say in what happens to you?
But really, there's no hope my circumstances will change.
None whatsoever.
Good morning.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to see you.
Yes, I realise that. That's why I'm here. What do you hope to achieve? What's the point of us being here?
I'm working on a cultural development application. I have to research different monsters and monster sites. I have to gather data on visitor numbers, demographics, bed nights.
Okay. What makes you think this site can be developed?
We have some photographs of it. The wild boar of Tyrone. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at.
The wild boar of Tyrone is a small pond full of dirty water. However, some believe that it can confer great sexual potency, possibly because it is a hole. They say that if you can arouse the boar, then you yourself will be turned on. So the men in your photographs are all talkative but impotent. Not sure the picture really does that justice. What are you writing?
It says magic hole, like Viagra.
Good morning.
Morning.
That's not a bad day.
Yes.
And more rain later.
Is that so?
Ah, that's what they say.
Can I ask you a question? Tell me this, would you still come if there was a charge? A small charge, mind.
You mean electric fence?
No, I mean money. If you had to pay money.
I couldn't say. How much money? Who's asking for it?
What do you think would be a reasonable charge?
I've never considered it.
Could you say how many times you visited in the last year?
Not often.
And could you describe the quality of your experience?
No. Watch and learn. Am I a man? Can I do what a man can do? Will the river flow? Will the Mara swell? Is the fruit ready? The tomatoes are ripe. The pears are juicy. My face is covered with juice. My hands are sticky with juice. she ready to mount? The wab is hard. The litter's as hard as a carrot. I've got to fuck.
Sorry, I've been involved in focus groups before, and I really do think all you do is come and ask questions and get opinions and go back and spend money and budgets that should be spent on something else, and really nothing much changes.
Well, honestly, whatever you say today, if you want, I can you leave my contact details at the end of the session, and you can contact me, and I will be able to feed back on how this has influenced policy decisions. Okay. So the first exercise is going to be what's in the box. So just imagine you have a monster box, and what I'd like you to do is take whatever is in this monster box, describe it, and then throw it over your shoulders. Okay? So in no particular order, tell me what's in your box.
There's a pack of king-size Rizla. There's a magpie tail feather. There is a old tissue.
Great, thank you. What's in your box?
Oh, I have a didgeridoo, and I also have a very, very sparkly, shiny hair.
Great. Now remember, this is a monster box, so tell me what's in your monster box.
There's a big ball of slime that's been cluttering up my drains for weeks. There's a knife and a fork and a half-eaten sandwich.
Thank you. What's in your box?
Let me see, it's a monster, and it's very, very strange. I think it may be from outer space. He's wearing green and he's making very, very odd noises.
Like what?
Quack, 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 quack. It's a language I don't understand, so I think I'll get rid of him. I'm quite nervous.
I think that's a good time to go into our next exercise, actually. It's a discussion. I'd really love to hear your opinion on a monster theme park. Would you pay to go into a monster theme park?
I think I would, yes. Monsters, that's
What do you mean by theme park? It's not like a zoo, is it?
Well,
Will they be caged?
What would you like to see in the theme park?
Well, I would like to see them caged.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't like to see a theme park at all. Like, I don't know why we're trying to encourage this kind of thing. It's
Well, people will stare at them.
Yeah.
I mean, monsters have feelings too.
Well, what would you like to do? Say you have a group of monsters, what would you do with them? Would you...
Why can't we integrate them into society?
But everybody here is complaining about the monsters. I'm still hoping they come to our area, but the area I live in, very few people want to come to, even the monsters.
So you would like to encourage monsters?
Well, I'd like to know what all the fuss is about.
Well, tell me as a woman, how does a monster make you feel?
Well, I have befriended a monster recently.
And what do you like befriend?
Well, we've become good friends. I think I learn a lot from him. As a woman, I feel a lot safer when I have a monster beside me.
As a woman, what I'd be interested in is good recipes using them. Because
What do you
think? Well,
I
cows
heard
and the
anything like
sheep
this.
and pigs and so on. I mean, if they're going to take over, we might as well capitalise on them. You could put them in stews and things. You know, I think we should be trying to exterminate them.
Well, they were reported down a while ago, burning them. Piles of burning monsters.
And I'd be all for that. I have to say.
I think it's
I love
disgraceful.
animals, but
Do you think monsters do you believe they're more part of a Catholic tradition maybe, or a Protestant tradition?
I don't think they're any denomination. I think that's what the beauty of monsters. We have so much to learn from them. You don't see segregation within the monster community the way you do in our community.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
I wouldn't be so sure.
You know, I'm all up for new species coming here and stuff like that, but, you know, I have to say that, you know, obviously they've got to learn how to live in Northern Ireland, you know? I mean, we all did.
Hiya.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. Trying to figure out, are we Ulster or Northern Ireland? Mumpu, Museum of Monster Photography in Ulster, or Mumpney. I know.
I think we should avoid Northern Ireland. I think it just divides our visitors before we even start. Whereas Ulster can kind of be, well, people think it's more inclusive. So how are you spelling that?
Mumpu, M-O-M-P-U, Museum of Monster Photography in Ulster.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's enough for the application at the minute. I think whenever we will have to do a couple of those think tank briefing things. We bring people in and ask them to respond to it. But okay, let's go with that. Did you decide as regards when you looked through the archive what we're going to feature as regards the application?
Well, we had a few. We were thinking about one of the slugs or the perhaps one of the infestations. There were some of those ones with the sort of just the possessed objects, which they're conceptually those are interesting, but you don't necessarily know straight away that that's a monster. So there's things like that which are kind of they're interesting once you know what they are, and they're kind of more documentary. But there's stuff which is a little bit more.
It's just how do we choose the grotesque and ensure that people know that elements of the collection will be family friendly.
Then the vomiting swan is out then.
I really would prefer not to have anything as grotesque or as disturbing as that is the key image. I've said this before. I think that there's a time and a place for those, but not within the application and not as being the kind of image that people are associating with the building.
They are monsters. Have you noticed that? They're monsters, right? Now, the edgier side of what we've got is the reason that, putting that forward and trying to bring that into the open.
Exactly. That's the reason why you and I are doing it, but that's not how we're going to get the money.
I have been making gingerbread men, and it's occurred to me there are 100 opportunities we haven't even considered yet. A gingerbread giant. It should be part of our thinking.
Confectionery.
Yes, why not? Confectionery. Look at Garibaldi. He was a famous politician in his day, and now all anybody remembers about him are his biscuits. I could end up investing a lot personally and politically in this project.
Can we sell them to the Chinese?
No.
Just kill them all?
No.
What really is the problem with that giant anyway?
I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. Let's imagine I was going to do the right thing. What would I do?
What are the options?
We create a Little People and Giants themed visitors display. The monsters wear colourful clothing and smile at the visitors. Or else they just stay where they are forever and like it.
So I told him you would kill yourself.
And how did he react to that?
He didn't really react.
They want me to perform in public, and they don't even care if I want to kill myself? Tough crowd.
He wants you to be mythic, not fatalistic.
Some giants specialise in fatalism.
But the giants of Ulster are all colourful and friendly.
What about the other monsters of Ulster? Are they colourful and friendly too?
Famously so.
I think I'll make a point of avoiding this place, Ulster. Sounds like a children's TV channel.
Anything else?
If you could find me a lady giant, we could start up an adult channel. Big audience for that.
No.
Wrestling?
No.
I'm not surprised.
No.
I've decided I'm not going to be disappointed. There'll be no lady giants, there'll be no wrestling. Of course there wouldn't. But so what? I'm having a good day, and I can still make my own choices.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going back to sleep. If you or anyone else like come watch me, be my guest. I'm going to sleep for 1,000 years.